everybody, it's Lizzie here, and today I'm going to be telling you guys about the time that I was almost kidnapped. So this all happened when I was in 7th grade. It was about mid-November, maybe even December, but I was just walking onto my bus stop, and my bus stop is a little bit down the street. It's about half of a mile. I was walking this way and the car was coming this way, and the car was like silver and it was a little rusty and it was really old looking. I didn't see the license plate. I'll insert a picture right now what my visual of the car, what I think it looked like. My phone was in my backpack. Now I always have it out in case of emergency. I always walk on the right side of the road. So the car was coming down on the left side, and he was driving down really slowly when he was going past me. And he was staring at me like a creepy stare. And that's when I caught a pretty good glimpse of him. He was about in his 30s, 35. He had just a little hair. If he did, it was like one of the really short cuts. And he was white, and he was about 5'5", 5'6". And he went to the house right behind me, pulled into the driveway, got in reverse, and then started driving towards me, like the direction I was walking. And he just stopped his car right next to me, and his door slowly starts to open, and he slowly gets out of his car. That's when I was at the point that I'm like, he's not in the right mindset. He's about to do something he's gonna regret. I started running into the direction of the nearest house that I can see a car in. I opened the screen and ran to the door and started obnoxiously knocking. And I was starting to get out my phone as I was knocking. And I was like trying to figure out how to open the screen really fast because my phone, you know how whenever you have the fingerprint, but it doesn't work unless you log into your phone the first time. Like if it's off and then you turn it back on, you can't put your fingerprint in until you type in the code for one time. So I was putting in my code while the guy was still there. He got the point that, hey, I need to leave this girl alone. He runs in his car and he speeds off at about 55 miles per hour. I looked back and his car was halfway down the street. I didn't even get a chance to look at the license plate to get a big glimpse of his car, but I took out my phone. Obviously it's on now. I called my mom, told her everything that just happened like I just told you. She said, okay, I'm gonna call the cops right now. And she called the cops and she told them what happened. I just went to 3rd or 4th period. I was called to the office and I kind of got the idea that it's about the situation that happened in the morning. My principal's husband is a cop, and he happened to be at the school at that time, or he drove there to talk to me or something. But all I know is I went there and he was there and he wanted to talk to me. And I told him everything I just told you, and he said, okay, just be calm. He gives me his card just in case anything else suspicious happens. And he said, just be careful, stay inside, tell your parents and everyone in your house what happened. Just lock all the doors, make sure that he doesn't know where you live. He would do a bunch of research to try to find out who this guy is. So about a week after this happened, my dad knew for a little while, and we started driving down the street. He wanted me to show him kind of what the car looked like. So we drove down the whole street and we looked at every house and tried to find a car that looked similar to the car that I saw. And just so he can know like what kind of car it was, so he can tell the cops what I saw. So we were driving down the street and we were about to the end of the street. And we see this car that looks the exact same as the car I saw. We started trying to figure it out ourselves. We were looking all over the internet, and guess what we found? Sex offender right down the road. One of my neighbors, I told what happened, and right off the bat, he knew who I was talking about, and he knew that the guy that I told him that we found online had a son. And he lived with him. He was around 35, short hair, basically fit the whole description that I told everyone about this experience. And he also drove the same car that I saw. So the guy that tried to kidnap me lives on my road. The cops were at his house and they went to talk to them, and he lied and said he had nothing to do with it. And then the cops came and told me they can't do anything about it if he hasn't touched me or actually took me. For the next about month, the cops came to my bus stop every day and just drove with me as I went to my bus stop in the morning and in the afternoon, just to make sure that I was safe while I was going home. And it worked, I guess you can say, but it still didn't make me feel better that the guy that did this lives on my street. So I'm really excited to move out of this neighborhood because I'm still kind of scared, but I know that he won't mess with me now that he knows that my whole family knows. So yeah, after that, after the cops talked to him and they told us that they can't do anything unless he touched me or took me or did something to me. So that's literally the most stupidest thing I've ever heard. I mean, you expect him to actually take me to do something about it? Are you joking? Like, he tried to take me. He lives down my road. Is that not enough information for you? Oh, nothing really suspicious happened after that. He kind of just left me alone, and because, I mean, cops went and questioned him after we figured out that, I mean, that has to be the house of the people that tried to kidnap me, of the man that tried to kidnap me. So he got the point that he needs to leave me alone, otherwise I'll call the cops again and he'll actually be arrested. I am so thankful and happy that nothing happened and I'm fine now. The most scariest experience I've ever had. I'm really glad that I let it out and told you guys all about it. And so, yeah, that's the end of the story. I hope you guys enjoyed. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys!